With Marilyn Monroe, it's amazing how Hollywood doesn't notice when somebody doesn't bathe, is mentally ill.
Answers the door naked and says, "Come in." And her hello was a blowjob. And she told Tony Curtis when they made Some Like It Hot, she still resents all the blowjobs she had to give to be a so-called star.
Including Tony Curtis. She was always betrayed by men. Nobody ever understood it, and she never had a good shrink. Welcome to our happy place. We always set it up with twinkling lights because you don't need the yelling and screaming of the outside world.
Serenity is in this room. I'm Patty, and I live with my sister in Santa Monica, and I'm having the best time of my life. Randa, you gotta see this article in the Sunday Times.
Okay, cut it out.
That's my job, your Reader's Digest.
I'm Randa. I'm a lesbian. I came out when it was still exotic.
My sister and I proved it's never too late to have a happy childhood.
Just think, our father was flushed down the toilet. And
Where he
Gandhi's in a
deserved.
sarcophagus. How'd you come up with that one?
I wanted him to be where he was most comfortable.
So we cremated him in Haiti.
So I flushed him, and I dumped him. When we lived in East Hampton, we were the only Jewish family there. And when I was at school, they would say, "Christ killer, you killed Jesus, you killed Jesus." And they would badger me and follow me around in the hall and in the playground. And I would yell, "I did not. I don't even know him. What are you talking about?"
And I was in kindergarten. They'd turn me upside down and they'd look in my head for horns. Then I'd go home and our father would beat us up.
When my stash drawer gets low, I get kind of nervous, and I know
Backup drawer.
I go to my backup drawer.
We were never kids. Our parents never bought brand names or anything, so she gets all the shit that we didn't have when we were kids.
I love Cracker Jacks, 2 or 3 pounds of
Can't get
Reese's.
enough Reese's peanut butter cups.
And my deodorant, which I have to order 36 at a time because no one sells it. Revlon High and Dry, an antiperspirant and a deodorant. You never smell and you never drip. I always tried to be the good one. I know how to sew, I know how to bake, I know how to cook, and I never got a compliment. And I repeated that when I was married for 25 years. My husband never gave me a compliment. I met my husband in my senior year of high school. I was looking for an escape route from my insane family. We had sex before I was ahead of my time or behind my time. I was 17. I was so delighted to be married and moved to Brooklyn, Canarsie. And I had a basement apartment, and my kitchen window saw the sidewalk, and I had grass, and I had a cyclone fence, and I saw up to people's knees, and to me that was paradise. I want to show you the best thing right outside my bedroom, and that is a brand new Sears washing machine. And then when I moved to my second apartment with 2 bedrooms with a second kid, I thought I had stepped up because in the bedroom, there was a clothesline with a pulley. I sent messages because at that time I had the hots for my next door neighbor, and I knew he would be looking at my negligees, my underwear. It was always like a message. And I had the greatest time hanging out clothes. I love the smell of the dryer. I love the smell of bleach. This is a turn on having it right outside my door.
Since I was in kindergarten, I knew that I loved women. I mean, I didn't know to say, I'm a lesbian and I'm 5, I'm Randa. But I knew that I loved all my female teachers that were like smart, witty, took an interest in me. I knew I was gay, but it wasn't the kind of world where you could be gay out there. And I enjoyed men. It wasn't that I didn't like the sex with them. They were like my Barbie dolls. It was like something I played with that was a plaything. I didn't have that much emotion in it.
My husband was a dirty fucking pervert who wanted me to tell stories. One day I opened the trunk of his Mercedes, and hidden under samples were S&M magazines of men in leather having collars around and all kinds of shit.
Ball gags, all that shit.
I don't remember a ball gag, but anyhow, I don't know why you're buying these shit magazines. I'll do it for you. I am the greatest storyteller in the world. The horse was very sweaty, and I'm sitting bareback, and my husband is behind me. And the horse was getting so hot and tired and panting. He was foaming at the mouth, and I bounced up and down and up and down. And sometimes I turned around, and he put his cock in me, and it was up and down. And the horse was just exhausted. Sometimes it was my mother was on the horse and he was behind.
So wait, so your husband got turned on by your mother being on a horse?
He was into asses. It was like I wasn't there. You know, it's like when you hear people leave their body when they're getting molested or something, it's like, I'll say it, I did it, I wasn't there. It didn't matter to me because
It was the house.
it was the house I came from, yeah. Okay, I buy it pre-cooked, put it in the oven for 7 minutes at 400 degrees, and I feel I blot all the cholesterol out so that it doesn't clash with my cholesterol pill. My routine is whoever wants it more will do it, and we don't say no to each other. 1 slice is for Randa. She may eat the whole thing, I don't know. Looks like dinner is served.
My therapist said, being happy is a very shallow thing. That's not a goal. And Patty said, that's the only goal. And she was so fucking right. That was more than any therapist ever told me. And living with her has been like the most amazing healing experience. It's my best friend, it's my partner in crime. We just have a lot of fun together.
We take a ride, we go to Malibu, we go to Santa Barbara, we do whatever we want. I got a list, don't worry
What do you
about
have on
it.
the list? Yeah.
Ass wipes, stylists, shaving cream, and my bubble bath.
How about some eye makeup?
How about some candy? Maybe they have cotton candy.
When I was a little girl, I sent away at 8 years old for a catalog for Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. I wanted to be a journalist. And I applied in the year of Woodward and Bernstein. And I got in on 3 scholarships. I got in. And I'm having an affair with my philosophy professor, and he grades a paper, one of my few female classmates, Jean, who was in English class with me. And I look at her paper, and it's so brilliant, and I fell madly in love with her. My gonads were ablaze, you know? Within 2 weeks, we went to bed together. Within 2 months, we moved in together. And I have to say, at that point, I never felt so relieved and so at peace.
I can't believe they have it.
Diabetic coma coming up.
Seasonal things are always fresh.
The biggest fun we have is complimenting people, and they laugh and they love it. Listen, you take care when you like.
Well, you too.
Thank you for taking
right.
good care of us.
Thank you for doing the survey.
All the time.
I think every week
deserve it. That's the real joy in life. Don't miss anyone, because there's so much in everyone that you can't believe it. How are you today, Rosa?
Oh, thank you. How are you?
Nice to see you in purple. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
my sister somewhere.
Did you know that Elvis was a twin? Jesse Garin was his twin brother, and he died at birth.
And there are rumors that he had an incestuous thing with his mother. When his father went to prison, he slept for comfort in his mother's bed. And what people didn't know at the time, Mommy was drinking, and they became very, very close.
And there's a syndrome in therapy that when the mother takes on the son as the little man and the head of the household, that's considered incest. Everybody thought, oh, he's so devoted to his mother, you know. But it wasn't only that, because I know this from personal experience. He was really tied to his mother emotionally and physically. People live over a candy store, right? You'd think you'd be happy. There was a luncheonette, there were toys, there were things, and it was always a nightmare. He'd say, when I finish, I'm gonna beat your ass off, I'm gonna kill you, you're gonna be dead by sundown.
Every day was a game to make it through the day, to survive this one more day and always being on guard.
He was just a rageaholic. He hated his life. He hated having children. I was always the designated hitty because I talked back. He would beat me for over an hour in the bedroom. The door closed. You'd hear slamming and
They'd be
screaming.
then silence, screaming, then silence. And my two sisters and I would be sitting at the dining room table
With the
in
mother.
candlelight with our mother, listening to this shit going on.
It was a symbiotic, sick relationship, and they were sexually perverse. My mother was like the blonde goddess, and my father worshipped her from the minute he met her at the dance till the day he died. I just don't feel she could love. She was like a narcissistic or a borderline personality. There's always somebody who loves somebody more than the other one in a marriage. She never wore clothes. And he would put me in the room with her, and then she would hug me, naked, all over me. And as we got older, she would tweeze our eyebrows. She'd say, only I can do it. You need an arch in your eyebrow.
This was in high school.
This was in high school.
We had to lay back.
Lay between her legs on her pubic hairs. And she would tweeze our eyebrows. And years later, when I was with my lovers, I went, oh my God, like the light bulb went off. She was getting off on it. And then I had a dream that there was this pink bubble gum, and it was in my mouth, and it was suffocating me, and I was in the basement, and the laundry was there, that my brother's diapers were in back, and I was going like this, and I would be pulling it out, I'd be trying to pull it out, I just couldn't get it out of my mouth, and then all of a sudden the washing machine would go off, and there'd be a lot of foam in my mouth, white foam, and I never knew what it was, and I had to keep hitting my jaw all during grade school to get it to move. It would lock on me. And I went to therapy and I talked about it. And he said, what do you think it is? And I said, I don't want to think what it is. And as soon as I owned it, I said, I'm not going to say it happened for sure, but everything with my father, sexual, happened in the basement.
I didn't tell anybody, did you? We just never had friends over, ever. It was child abuse, and yet we knew it wasn't normal, and we knew there was a better life, and we got it through reading, and it was a secret. The library card's a great thing. God bless Andrew Carnegie.
Yeah. So I would read about all these people's lives. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis.
Albert Einstein, Hitler and Lincoln.
Everything.
Every book written by anybody, no matter how long. I wanted to know about feelings, and I knew there was a whole other picture for me to learn. I want to see the flowers. This is where Elvis always came. Our mother wanted to scatter her ashes in Sausalito at her favorite restaurant.
Don't say the name.
I won't. And our father, when I had the ashes, he
Interred in the toilet.
He deserved to be flushed, and he deserved to be in the garbage.
When did you do that? You never told me. I would have killed you.
I would never tell you that. I didn't do anything wrong.
How'd you feel when you did it?
Perfect.
Forgiveness is really for yourself, not
Yeah,
for
it's
them.
not for them. Not to forget, just to forgive and dissipate the hate, the anger.
In his later years, he was a kind person. He was soft-spoken. He doesn't remember that he ever cursed. That's another thing. Nobody ever remembers that they cursed or hit anyone. You confront
Where did you
them.
learn
Where
how
did
to
you learn
curse?
how to
He said. I
curse
said,
like
Dad,
that?
you told me everything I know. I didn't buy the shit that
She
she's
didn't
told
buy
me.
this shit, and I said to him, where were you when I was younger? When
I
it
just
could have
hope
made a
he's
difference.
on a spit roasting next to Hitler, because that's where he belongs. I don't give a fuck.
But we once saw a coffee mug, and it said, turn your scars into stars. And that was our rallying cry. We started writing books. We wrote podcasts that were on iTunes, and we didn't even know how to get iTunes. It's a serious decision to have fun. We just don't want to be in that house anymore. It was so depressing, and anybody can be depressed. Anybody can have that childhood, but you have to go through it. You can't go around it. Here he comes, he's jumping on the horse. This is a famous stunt. The Apache is shot. Now John Wayne, look at that, look at the stunt, under all the wheels. And he lived through it. It was the most amazing stunt in movie history.
Our nail person does celebrities and everyone. He says never has he ever done the nails in the back.
So of course I had to
But
get mine
why
done.
shouldn't you be seen coming
And
going?
It always makes me laugh. And on my own, I could be depressed. I could think deeply into everything. But my sister says if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. She loves herself so much. She takes such good care of this girl.
This is my first childhood. I don't give a fuck, okay?